mom and classmate. So today I'm going to discuss about the moral evolution, contrast between Nietzsche and Buddha, moral positivism, comments, moral sensism, and the moral philosophy of communism. So first, I'm going to discuss the moral evolution. So, what is moral evolution? So this is the theory of all those who believe that morality is never set of absolute, but rather evolves over time into perfect morality. It has already featured in many of the moral theories that we have studied or will study. And it can be found in the communist perspective of morality, in which morality evolves and gradually perfects itself into the perfect morality of classless society. And it can be also be found in Spencer's adjustment theory. It can also be found in moral positivism, which holds the morality begins and step with the Senate. So morality, or the division between right and wrong, did not exist in the beginning, according to Friedrich Nietzsche, a German philosopher, that which anyone desired is good. So the moral distinction between good and evil was unknown of that time, according to Friedrich Nietzsche. And also, according to Friedrich Nietzsche, the moral distinction between good and evil was unknown at the time. So the laws that currently govern the world are the law of slaves who, with the help of peace, achieve power over the aristocracy for the period. So these are the laws of meekness, humility, sacrifice, suffering, pity, mercy, poverty, forgiveness, and love that are derived and founded on the teaching of Christianity. According to Nietzsche, this celebration and favor the weak, producing weakling. However, we must generate the powerful survival of the piteous in a natural law. Nature predestined the strong to live and dominate. Nature denied the weak the right to live. So the weak, who of the majority, must be removed to make room for the strong aristocracy. The strong are produced by hardship, harsh justice, tough training, and battle in accordance with military teaching. Hatred, violence, hardness, and war totem the spirit and produce the strong, the Superman. And that is the end of morality and civilization. So as a result, morality provides the might, strength, and power. As a result, the good is one that make one strong, powerful, and most importantly, superhuman. But it is the weak who produce. The elements of the martial spirit are effectively reflected in this worldview. It was followed to the letter by German militarists during World War II, who believed that their Aryan race was superior to all. Of World War II events had already occurred in the thoughts of power. So hungry philosophers like Nietzsche, a century ago, in a hospital bed, Nietzsche lost his mind and died mad. He had to be cared for by some merciful man and the woman before his death. So what would have happened if they had followed his brutality and other teaching? So our next topic, is about the contrast between Nichiren and Buddha. So what is it all about? So Buddha chose to control the passion while Nichiren encouraged asserting human desires. So Buddha chose to live that is guided by morality, but Nichiren suggested to the overcome suffering and nihilism by value transviolation and Ubermensch. So their difference is because of their contrasting view about the desires and will. So next is moral positivism. So what is moral positivism? So this is the view that all moral laws are derived from state laws. So good is what follows the state laws, while bad is what the state forbids. So Hobbes, an English philosopher, is perhaps the most famous prominent of this nation. So let us consider this theory in the context of Hobbes' philosophy. So nature was a state of universal war, according to Hobbes. So to his fellow man, man is a wolf or homo homini lupus. So as a result, in order for humanity to exist, it is necessary to check and control man's nasty. So wolfish impulses before the foundation of the state. So humanity was at war with itself. So there were no rules, morality or sense of good and wrong. So man got together to build a state with the rules. So right and duties in order to put an end to the condition of war and anarchy according to his theory. So morality derives its source, its origin from the state's law. So comments. Moral positivism renders morality relative and it must be rejected as a flawed morality standard. The natural orders of things is preserved by moral positivism. So there was already human nature with all of its natural rights and the laws that govern it before there was any state, even before there were any laws against it. So murder was always fearable, and murder is illegal and punishable by law. Therefore, it's problematic because it goes against human nature as a social being. And it is forbidden because it is terrible and because it is prohibited. Murders. Heinousness is unrelated to the fact that it is prohibited even before there was a state to legislate against it, and it was immoral. So next is moral sensism. So what is moral sensism? So moral sensism, this is an ethical theory that asserts that man is gifted with a special moral sense. So by virtue of which man distinguishes between good and evil in the same way that our sense of taste distinguishes between sweet and sour, or our sense of sight distinguishes between dark and light. So when we say he has no sense or morality, or no moral taste, or something along those lines, we are referring to this point of view. So the last one is the moral philosophy of communism. So what is it all about? So communism is a largely an economic ideology and some of its ideas are intimately linked to an inextricably linked with a fundamental moral value. So we have three views of reality logically followed. So number one is the denial of the existence of God, since God is a spirit and nothing exists but the material. And the next one is the denial of the freedom of the will in man, since matter, the sole existent reality, is determined in all its movement by the laws of the dialect. And number three is the denied of immortality, since communism denies the existence of the spirit and furthermore teaches the goal of man in his earthly happiness in a classless society. So that's my report all about. So hope you gain knowledge and understand. Thank you.